But this, you see, it's like Ptah Hotep, right? He's the architect of the universe. So they steal it and they use it as a symbol, right? But the Oscars, everything we do, this is how they do the stuff. You know?
So how interesting is that they use the
the Oscars,
and then
yeah,
they have the Oscars silhouette and all of that.
Yeah, but this is our symbols. Just steal everything. They steal.
This was recorded in the year 2020, a pandemic time when many reconnected with empathy. I am a being with interest. Curiosity cannot exist without reference. Dialogue with transients and their avatars comes to me plenty. This man has silver rings and things, a plate that read Amun Ra. When I inquired its significance, I recorded him speaking of Ptah, Hotep, his enlightenment of the architect's inspiration to man's creating an icon of the Oscars. And naturally, the conversation flowed beyond. I was hesitant to share it for one reason or another. That year had a surreal summer. Confusing was confusion, whirling about Corona, COVID-19, and what could, should be. Didn't think people would get this message. Perhaps it was meant just for me. I can't say everything spoken is deemed to agree, but let me share it anyway because I see entertainers marching at halftime, like how many protested in the streets, wanting to be part of something created by a mentality that dwindled kings and queens into peasants and chiefs, borrowing keys to a society instead of building anew. They protest in the belly of greed. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
You pull out your dollar. In your dollar in gold we trust, right? Your gold, your oil, and your diamonds. It's
on the
gold, oil. It's a God. What was it called? Gold, oil, and diamonds. That's what they're running everything with. In God we trust. Are you praying? Yes, Father God. What we was using before? What we was using before? We all them names and things we was calling on before.
Right.
So all of a sudden now, they take over the scene. So they become the gods. This is why Hitler was trying to create a super race. But he can't. All of them face. Mussolini tried to take over Ethiopia. Stalin, all them. They die out. So we ain't getting no horrors, you know what I mean? Listen, we here forever. As long as our sun shine out there. God gave his only begotten son. I'm not saying you seen that. They take out the U and put a O, right? Because they copied that from us too. Our kings was considered, that had a concept we call the anthropomorphic concept. Because we are microcosms. And the universe is a macrocosm. So you are a microcosmic universe in this form here. We take on this form. The power of the mind and creativity and the consciousness, that divinity sitting in you, we divine etheric beings. So we're indestructible. Nobody could destroy nothing. But it could stop your physical existence for a while. We just go back and, you can't destroy something that is intangible. You're not seeing the air, right? You're not seeing me. Are you hearing me? You think you can see me? Or you hearing me? You see my genetic suit, right?
Yeah.
That I'm clothed with, you're not seeing me. If I drop, you don't see what leave. Maybe some people could. Because they are not playing, because they're going to other subtler bodies, the body of light and different things,
Yeah.
Because they realize what is the divine purpose here. Holding down your constitutional position and gaining enlightenment and self-realization. So master over your senses. So you can become a slave to your five senses. Taste, touch, smell, sight, hearing, you know what I mean? So your body is a marvel of the universe, but it's how to master this realm here, this physical realm. Because among the things you could do with a body, most of us inside to wake up, it's like beginning to get here in the West, you know what I mean? There's a lot.
They also about the five senses, but there was always a sixth sense.
Right, but the intuitive levels, you know what I mean? And the soul perception. But the soul already know everything, but it might be dormant. Or it might be covered with ignorance. Due to loss of energy through the five senses, so we caught up in a kind of conditioning to think of it because the society is structurized that way. You understand? To change your perception. So you can't see your real self. So you get caught up in the tell, lie, vision. You understand? Tell, lie, vision. You understand? Like as we go by, we just figuring out, what do you see people doing, you know what I mean? They mess you up here, so some of us just come to a point, all right, you know what? It's only one way out, and the journey is within. To understand what's going on all around you and everything else, and a connection. So they find ways to disconnect us, you know what I mean? Economic enslavement, and you can't think good because you think having $1 million or driving a fancy car, all this is just relative, acquirement, which is a utility, just to utilize to get by. But it shouldn't really obstruct, right, your divine path while you're here. To understand who and what you really are, and what is your duty. But we all working, I'm a student too, a divinity. You know? I just say simple because I don't want no position, no authority, nothing. Because I cannot be the supreme being. I am part and parcel of something that is greater. So I'm one little spectrum. So I can't play I'm the supreme, and some guys play that role here. I deal with all different kind of people. And then all kind of spiritual frontier out there and all them kind of thing. But they cut you up when it comes into money in a second. That's why I just go and work normal like a regular person and stay cool. And anything I get, I try to work hard for it and acquire it. And when you acquire the fruits of your labor, now you have to watch how you spend it. Because you could do other people harm. And all because you get negative reaction too. After your fruits of your labor come in your hand, then you could misuse it over people. So a lot of different factors, karmic.
Even if you mean good?
Good and bad, you could do it, any resource.
Can you misuse it even if you mean good? How can you misuse it even if you mean good?
If you mean good, right, after you get it, if you mean good, it's good because whatever action you perform that is positive, the universe would respond. Whatever action you perform negative, the universe would respond. So whatever you send out, you're the one creating your own pain and suffering and everything else.
And he wants to know, if after you give it with good,
Well,
people who are using it could use it for bad as well.
They can receive it and react negatively, even though you mean good, but they may not be able to.
Well, you see, after a while, some people don't even interfere with other people because after a time you learn to psychoanalyze some people who sometimes they don't get involved. Even giving certain experiences that they have, they have to be careful because you might try to share something that's good and you get a negative reaction.
You might try to share something that's good and you get a negative reaction.
So you have to get on a level where you can psychoanalyze other people. You can watch what they say, what they do, the behavioral patterns, and pick up on other stuff. And determine what you could share. But you're playing with eternity. So I can't tell you that I know something. Everything is intuitive within the moment. It's just flowing because certain energies, but they coming from me, coming from a database, a cosmic mind. So greater mind has become this simpler mind here as a channel, so things, information, through experiences could flow through.